Welcome to Her Incredible Mind, where we are highlighting some of the most successful women in science, technology, engineering, and math. These women are inspirational leaders, showing resilience in the face of adversity. By sharing these success stories, we hope to gain insight, inspire, and help guide those who are struggling on their journey within this industry. Hopefully, their stories will inspire you or someone you know to pursue a career in STEAM. Hi, Allyson. Thanks for being with us today.
Thank you, Kate.
Can we take a moment to actually talk about what your role is today, what company you're working for, what industry?
Yeah, definitely. So my name is Allie Wheelwright. I'm a geotechnical engineer at a company called Haley Aldrich, located in Charlestown, Mass. I've been in the civil engineering environment for about almost 6.5 years. And I've been with H&A, Haley Aldrich, for the past 5. In this role, we do a lot of we work directly parallel with construction as large projects are going on in the greater Boston area. So it's kind of a 24/7, we're always busy working simultaneously as projects are being developed in Boston.
That's great. Thank you. So when you think about where you are today, how did you decide on this role?
Yeah, it's a great question. So I think from a young age, I always enjoyed solving puzzles, and I liked math and was more of an analytical person. And I really, I think when I was little, I would build furniture with my dad and was very hands-on. And that sort of led me down to a career of working with my hands, working in engineering, and specifically civil engineering, because we really get to work on projects from the ground up. All over the world. It's a big industry, and I just really connected with it, I think, in high school. And then I knew engineering was my path.
So what matters to you most when you think about your current role?
To me, it's all about the people I work with. It's an industry where it's really based on team building. We're working closely internally, but also externally with all different clients and disciplines. We'll be working with structural engineers, architects, civil engineers. So to me, it's kind of fun, not only developing these teams internally in the company, but also externally in developing, relationships and networking through the entire industry around Boston has been very satisfying.
It's interesting. I see a lot of that. I was lucky enough to start my career in real estate. A lot of it was, client partnering and helping the brokers to actually, secure clients and secure space and leasing and all the things. And I think that the true part of, kind of your arena even is a lot of partner management. It's a lot of, partnering with the same, people that, you can trust and you build rapport with, and, they help you to be successful just like you help them to be successful. So it's truly, teamwork.
It's all about that. And it definitely makes every day different, which keeps it interesting.
It's funny because when you think about kind of all of what goes into it, when you think about all the different partnerships, sometimes just managing those alone is a full-time job,
Yes.
But it's enjoyable. I agree.
Exactly.
I agree with you. So what do you enjoy most about what you're doing today?
I do a lot of design work, fortunately. So, I get into the 3D modeling realm using different software, AutoCAD, Revit, and I enjoy, working as the designer of the project. We'll work from the beginning and really get to kind of start where the puzzle should be solved. There's tons of obstacles that come up during construction, so it's definitely kind of no project fits all. So what I enjoy most is just that each project I work on, I learn something new, learn how to improve on the next project. And it's just always constantly evolving. And I think now that the industry is utilizing more advanced software. It's definitely coming into the 21st century. We're not constructing the way we did, in the 19th, 18th century. We're really evolving with the times. And to me, that's the most exciting part of it.
That's great. You're seeing the future ahead of you is something you're looking forward to instead of feeling left out, which is really great. You're really embracing the change, and that's a big deal. I think, it's very important to embrace change.
Yeah.
If the change isn't for you, that's fine. But if the change is for you, I love change. So, it's one of those things where I like to have change in my life, but I think this is a time where you're right, where things are changing, and at the same time, we have this big, kind of obstacle in front of us with, kind of the COVID situation right now, which is interesting.
Right. Yeah, definitely happy to not be hand drawing, blueprint plans. So
right,
it's exciting.
Exactly. It's amazing how much technology has allowed us to do our jobs and continue to do our jobs. So thanks to the IT teams for that. So
yes, thank you to them.
Exactly. So when you think about your career path, did you think that, right? I mean, you sound a little bit like you really knew what you wanted to do right out of the gate. Was there anything, that made you feel that way? Was there something that maybe thought I would do something different?
Yeah, I really struggled. I think senior year of high school, I was on the fence of should I go to architecture school or should I do civil engineering? And for me, what it came down to is I really wanted to do all different aspects within a particular project, not just one piece. And I think architects are amazing and they have a very tough job. But for me, I was more interested in doing the design and the math. And, I took a lot of structural engineering courses, and it was just something I became passionate about. And I just knew, I think freshman year of college, I knew like, okay, yes, I should do civil engineering. But I was on the fence for a little bit because I do enjoy being equally creative as I am analytical, but I found that I could marry the two nicely in civil engineering.
That's awesome. That's a great way to look at it. So think about, you're successful, you've done well, you're doing what you want to do, everything aligns. What do you think you had for obstacles in your career?
So I think, the biggest obstacle for me has been kind of historically, this is a male-dominated industry. It's in a lot of ways, it is kind of an old school environment, very suit and tie, boots on the ground. And when I first started, I had to be out on site in the field every day. So it was definitely challenging to be, a 5 foot tall woman kind of telling everyone what to do, what's going on. And that was a challenge, but it's definitely, I think, made me a stronger person and have tough skin and really become a well-rounded engineer. And apart from, being in this male industry, we definitely have a lot of females within my company, and we have great female mentors, which have definitely paved the way. And I can really see the industry changing dramatically. And I think it's to, my mentors who have really paved the way.
That's great. That's great feedback. And I think usually our next question is really about what you think about your experience in your industry. And it sounds like you're really starting to pave the way, and that there's, a runway now in front of you that, you feel like it's there. You can achieve what you want to achieve, which is great.
Yeah, definitely.
See that, it's really, really nice to see that. So if you had to give some advice to your younger self, what would you say?
I'd probably say study harder. It's interesting because when you're in school, you're learning from a textbook, and then when you do get your first job, it kind of clicks after the fact. So I'd tell my younger self, maybe pay attention a little more, but no, definitely kind of trust your gut. I think I struggled to try to appease my mentors or appease other people. And it's really, what makes you happy. And I think if I told my younger self, stick to your intuition, you know what you enjoy, what you don't enjoy, and definitely take everyone's advice, but ultimately you have to do what's right for you. So I would tell my younger self, what's right for yourself, and definitely take advantage of people's opinions, but you know what you should do.
That's great. That's great. That's definitely great reflection. Believe me, that is great. So what would you give for advice to young girls?
I think, young girls specifically, we have the power to do a lot in this world. And, I think we're starting to see really powerful ladies in, head CEO positions. And I would tell, young ladies, you have the power to do whatever you want. And, if you want to see a change in the world, you then go for it. Don't wait for others to make that change for you.
That's great advice. I love the whole mantra, somewhat of being the change. You need to be the change.
Yeah,
And,
exactly.
Sometimes it's not easy, and it's easy to say. It's easier to say than to do. But I completely agree. I'm aligned with that thinking. Absolutely.
Mhm.
So, if your LinkedIn profile was limited to 3 words to describe you, what would you say?
Whew. I would say creative, analytical, and passionate. I'm passionate about what I do and the people I get to work with.
Thanks, Allie, for being here today. We really enjoyed your story. We appreciate your willingness to participate in this. It's been a great ride so far. So we hope you continue to go on in your career. We're excited for you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.